For all of you with an AMD Ryzen or Threadripper based system, today I'm going to show you how you can manually tune your DDR4 memory. Now, what's the benefit of tuning your memory? Doesn't Xmp do the trick? Well, Xmp is a general profile for a specific set of memory timings. In other words, it's compatible with pretty much anything. But in some cases, you can get more performance by setting up the timers yourself. The real benefit is more FPS and therefore lower latency. AMD's architecture is more sensitive to memory clocks and timings compared to Intel's, so the more you can refine, the better. To save you some time, I'll put an article to explain this further in the video description. Disclaimer: any changes you make as a result of this video is done at your own risk, so please conduct your own research and decide before proceeding forward. With that said, what do you need to make the timings more optimal? Let's dive in. First thing you're going to need is the latest Ryzen DRAM calculator by US Mus. I hope I pronounced that correctly, and if I didn't, I apologize. The next thing you need is your motherboard has to be able to make the changes to the memory times. Now, if it can't, you might be able to leverage the Ryzen memory app from AMD, but if you can't, you're kind of SOL. Third, you must have an AMD Ryzen or Threadripper based processor for this specific process. Now, Intel users may be able to benefit from part of this video, but as far as I know, there isn't an Intel version of this calculator. Now, please let me know in the comments if an Intel version is available online. I'll post a link to both apps in the video description. When you have the apps downloaded, simply extract them individually to their own folders. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to launch Typhoon Burner. As soon as it opens, close the product registration screen. Then click on the read button. Here you'll see 1, 2, or 4 memory sticks installed, depending on your system. We're going to select the first memory stick, and we'll assume all of your memory sticks are the same in this video. If you have mixed memory, the only way I found this to work is to use the slowest memory possible, but that is not guaranteed to work. Anyway, let's carry on. In this screen, it's going to list all the information of the memory stick. You'll need to take note of a few things. So for this example, I'm using 4x16GB Trident C Neo DDR4 3600 memory. First, in DRAM components, note the manufacturer. The memory modules that I have are made by Samsung. Second, in DRAM components, note the die density and count type. I have 8GB B-die memory. Third, in memory modules, note the organization and memory rank. You'll either have one rank, also known as single rank, or two ranks, also known as dual rank memory. I have dual rank memory. Fourth, if you don't know what your RAM speed is, it should be specified in the part number. Another way to find it is to look at the Xmp certification section. It'll usually be 1/2 of your memory speed, so simply double it to get the number. For example, if it states 1800 MHz, you'll have 3600 MHz DDR4 memory. Go to the report button. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see a hidden link that says show details in nanoseconds. Hit the hidden link. After that, press the export button. Select complete HTML report and save the file. You can now close Typhoon Burner. Open the Ryzen DRAM calculator. For processor, let's just go through the list. You're going to select the Ryzen or Threadripper generation you're using. Now it's a little out of place here, so let's just go through it. Zen 1 AM4 is for the first gen or 1000 series Ryzen processors. Zen Plus AM4 is for the second gen 2000 series Ryzen processors. Threadripper 1 Gen is for the first gen Threadripper processors. Threadripper Plus Gen is for the second gen Threadripper processors. 2970WX and 2990WX are for specific 2nd gen Threadripper processors. Finally, Zen 2 AM4/STRX4 is for the 3rd gen 3000 series Ryzen and Threadripper processors. I'll go through my settings here, but make sure you set up your settings because I could have a different processor or memory type than you do. For memory type, select the memory type from Typhoon Burner that you had. For the memory rank, select the rank from Typhoon Burner that you had. For frequency, select the memory speed that you had, such as 3600 MHz. The block is typically set to 100. For DIMM modules, this should be set to the number of memory sticks you have in your system. For motherboard, make sure the correct chipset is selected. Now we're going to import the Xmp profile from Typhoon Burner. So click on Import XMP and open the memory port you created. At this point, you can hit the Calculate Fast button for the higher performing number, or you can hit the more stable number by pressing the Calculate Safe button. It's totally up to you, but for me, I'm going to hit Calculate Fast. Once you've done that, take a screenshot with your phone. As I was recording this video, I realized the TRFC value that I put in here on my motherboard is actually incorrect. Now make note of the TRFC nanosecond value because we're going to use this to calculate the actual TRFC. And I think this is a bug in this app and hopefully it gets corrected later. So go to the Advanced button and take a screenshot of these settings. Now you may need to set some or all these values depending on your motherboard. Go to Additional Calculators. In the TRFC TREFI calculator, enter the speed of your memory, such as 3600 MHz. For TRFC nanoseconds, enter the value recorded from the first screenshot. Press the Calculate button and take a screenshot of these recordings. Now, let's go into the motherboard's BIOS utility. Before you make any changes to your motherboard settings, make sure you save the profile or setup to a USB stick in the event your system reboots and goes back to default. Every motherboard manufacturer will have their own tailored settings. So in my case, I have a Gigabyte Aorus Extreme X570 motherboard, and the memory settings can be set in two areas, in the general memory area, and it's in the overclock and XFR enhancement sections. Make sure you go through the sections on your motherboard and set up the timers appropriately. One other thing, make sure the Infinity fabric and the F-clock frequency are set up correctly. This can have an effect on your performance. Apply all the settings, save it, and reboot. If everything went well, your system will apply the new settings. I used all the recommended settings except for the DRAM voltage. For some reason, I needed to go up to 1.42 volts as the system wouldn't boot or was unstable. After you boot up, I would download the app memtest86 and let it run. Generally, the test takes around 2 to 3 hours for a standard test. If there are errors, you'll need to make adjustments to the memory settings, such as slightly increasing the voltage for stability. Now, I don't recommend going over 1.43 volts for everyday use. Now, if everything works out perfectly, you'll have lower latency, a little more FPS, and a faster responsiveness in-game. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And here are a couple of videos you may want to look at. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.